Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone from the US, around the world. Welcome to our second show from Aabea, American Association of Bangladeshi Engineers and Architects. I'd like to welcome you all once again, in our second episode. And this episode, we're going to be introducing our next chapter, which is Michigan chapter. And I've got the dream team behind the scene. They're about to come on stage and rock the floor. You'll be able to hear a lot about them, what they do, and what they're planning to do in the upcoming year, and their personal interests and whatnot. It'll be a great introduction. And as you all know, from Aabea, we have been engaged with a lot of different good activities for our engineering and architect community. Basically, we have been doing a series of great seminars. We have been helping out our engineering students succeeding their path with scholarship and education and whatnot. We have been doing a lot of different center of excellences around the country, around the world. We're also engaged with encouraging the women in technology in particular. So anything and everything. And not only that, as a philanthropic endeavor, we're also engaged with helping our fellow Bangladeshis who have been suffering from COVID-19 related issues and flooding and whatnot. So basically, it's a great professional nonprofit organization, and I'd like to welcome you all again for our second episode with our great chapter Michigan. And before we start, I'd like to talk about their great biennial convention. I remember a few years ago, we went there in Michigan, and that was one of the best biennial convention, actually, at least in my opinion. I mean, they did such a wonderful job, and you will know why. It's such a great team that you are about to meet, and you'll know why they're doing such a great job. So without further ado, let me start off with a little intro, and then I'm going to hand over our table to our chapter president, Ms. Afroza Akhtar. So just give me one. All right. Okay, so let me bring everybody on stage. Just bear with me. Okay, so this is the team. So welcome everyone. Let me first introduce our chapter president, Ms. Afroza Akhtar. If I may say a few words about her. Each and every one of you are so talented. I was so impressed reading your bio. I mean, this is amazing. So Ms. Afroza Akhtar, she graduated from BUET in 1997 with a BSc in mechanical engineering. She's also a recipient of AUS 8 scholarship and went to the South Wales University in Sydney, Australia. Then she studied at the University of South Carolina to obtain her master's degree in mechanical engineering. She came to Michigan and started as a computer-aided engineer in automotive industry. Since then, she worked for various tier 1 suppliers, OEM, as a mechanical engineer, and presently works as a virtual performance integration manager at General Motors. She's married with two kids. She enjoys reading, gardening, cooking, and crafting. And she's a big believer of coaching middle school students and the new generation in the technology. So she's basically a role model for a program called STEMinista project that's run by Michigan Science Center, I believe. So welcome, Afrozapa. So if you could please introduce yourself and your team, and then I'll take a back seat and then enjoy the show with you. Thank you. You're on mute, Afrozapa. Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Faisal Bhai, for your kind word. You practically say everything about me. I do not have much to add on top of that. But I just like to say a few words why I joined Aabea. Actually, at the beginning, when I joined Aabea, I do not know anything about this organization. I just joined because I believe the respected senior in our community who invite me to join, they won't do anything that's not good for the society and for us. So in this belief, I joined in there. Then I got the whole world open to me, the world called volunteering. Grew up in Bangladesh. I do not have much opportunity or I would say the mindset to do the voluntary work outside what you need to do for just for your education or your family. Beside
Mhm,
that, so when I start Abia, I feel like that's what missing in my life. I all through my life I work, I study hard, but that's for me and my family, not for the greater people, the people who I don't have any contact with, people I see, but I do not impact their life for my work. So that's the main thing I like about Abia. Then we involved in so many projects through Abia, like we have a STEM project that we run in the underprivileged school in Hamtramck. That's a area where most of the Bangladeshi lived, but they are not as privileged as we are as an engineer, but their kids are very talented. All they need is a role model. They need to see what they can achieve uh, as their career, how far they can go. So this is a very good program we have, and we will let you know details about that later on. Then we
mhm,
have another one called professional development program. We helped young engineers to land their feet in this country. We all have our ups and downs when we first begin our journey, career journey in USA,
mhm,
and we know how that feels. And now we have the opportunity to hold the hand of the young engineers so that they don't feel alone and lost. They have
mhm.
somebody uh, to help them, to cover them, to give them few words of encouragement. So this
Absolutely.
is another pride project we have in Abia, and during this pandemic, we also make this happen in virtual setup, and that was a very good event, and we got very good feedback on that one as well. And we have some few other activity as well, and life is not about all about work. We need some fun too. So every year we try to do a family event where we introduce our committee, where we showcase what we did throughout the year, and we have some cultural program too, so that our kids can participate, our kids can enjoy, and our other hubs who usually don't involved in the Abia, they can come and enjoy too. And at and that family event, we also invite other profession like medical, like pharmacist, or any other businessman, any other profession, so we can mingle as a group, as a society, and we can do good for each other.
Mhm.
So that's about it from my side, and that's how we like to see Abia going forward. And we like to help ourselves with helping the society. So we believe in you cannot live a good life until everybody around you living a good life.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
with this ado, I like to invite our President-elect, Tanzima Mushtarin. And if I want to say something about her, I cannot finish this in this program. He is my friend, my mentor, my big sister, all through my life. And I like to bring her in, and I like to hear something about herself from her. From her.
Thank you. Thank you, Afrozapa. This is very good.
Thank you, Afroza. That's very, very kind of you. But assalamu alaikum and good morning to everybody. First of all, I really want to start by saying thank you for giving us this opportunity, in this kind of forum to introduce ourselves. Now you can really put a face on some of these names and, giving everyone opportunity to get to know us a little bit better. A little background about myself. I graduated from, BUET with a degree in electrical engineering in 1995. It really seems ages ago, but yeah. So 1995 is when I graduated. After that, I worked in a small engineering firm called Prostapana. At the same time, I was also a teaching assistant at BUET. I did that for about a year. Then I came to the US for my master's degree. I went to Purdue for 2 years, 96 to 98. I took a master's degree in computer and electrical engineering. Then I really actually came to Michigan. I followed my husband here, really. So I then landed a job at GM, and I've really been with GM ever since. That's been my company. I've held various positions within GM. I started off as a design support engineer, and then I moved on to become a DRE. I worked on clusters. If those of you who work on automotive industry, it's really the hub of the infotainment systems. But I've really stayed with infotainment all my career at GM. My current role is a feature owner at we working on still with driver notifications, and then I do a lot of work with the center stack display and rear seat infotainments. I've been with Aabea really from the beginning, from its inception. I've had various posts. I started off as a executive member, then an organizational secretary, which actually I was during the biennial convention. Then I became a vice president. I was in the board of trustees for 2 years, and now I'm back to being a president-elect. So why did I choose Aabea? Actually, I was one of the lucky ones. Aabea chose me. I was approached by some of the founders of the Michigan chapter, and it was at that time I also didn't know much about Aabea, but I did join, and I was really glad that I did. It's a very good and a great organization that really connects seasoned professionals around the world, right? And it gives it brings forward many opportunities to grow. For me as a professional, I really love those seminars, and gives me an opportunity to grow from those, and also an opportunity to showcase your own talents, right? So others can learn about what you know. But really, what was most valuable for me by joining Aabea was the giving back to the community. So, ever since my college life, I've been involved in community activities. But in Aabea, it's one of those things that, like Afroza mentioned, the STEM project, that was like my baby. It's one of those things that I really connected with. And it is also one of those that I led for the last 5 years. We've really been successful with the STEM Youth Project. We didn't do one last year because of COVID reasons, but one of our plans for this year is we will do something virtual. But this is one of those things that, as Afroza mentioned, it really gives opportunity for these underprivileged, areas to see, especially for women. I like to see that girls and young women can get into this profession. They really fear STEM related stuff, and it really gives them an opportunity to see, how us women, especially, work in this field. And really, we manage both professional life and personal life, right? So. Yeah, so that's I see myself being involved in Aabea, one way or the other. Like I said, I've been involved for so many years, but this is going to be one of my things, the main reason for my involvement, so that I really can give back to the younger, generation.
So this is
On a
very
personal, Yeah. So on a personal note, I have two girls, 19 and 16. They really take a lot of my time, but in between that time, I still have some time to give to, these kind of organizations. So again, I really appreciate the opportunity you've given me to introduce myself and why Abia means a lot to me. Thank you.
This is amazing. I mean, Tanzania and Afrozapa, you both mentioned about the young generation, and this is so important to keep them on track, especially in the engineering field when they start off their career with technology, because it could be very overwhelming. And the way you are giving your helping hand to that community, and they are our future basically. So what you have
Right,
been
right.
doing, it's really unparalleled, and we really really appreciate from the central committee as well that you're doing such a great job. Thank you again.
Thank you. So that's all for me. Thanks.
Thank you, Tanjimapa. And I think she didn't say much about the STEM, but she's the one who did all the work to make this happen, and we just help her out. And as
No, no,
she
no. We did it all together. This is a joint effort. But yeah, we are very proud of it. We are very proud of it.
Excellent.
especially when we go and see those young childs, they are receiving their like their prize and all those things, and the overwhelming response we get then from them. This is really something that we look forward every year. um, Thank you, Tantimappa. So next, I like to call our Executive Vice President, Ashik Yusufbhai. And I cannot say his name without say Bhai, because he is really like my big brother here. And he is the kind of guy who is very quiet, usually in the background. You have to drag him out, but he is the one who did most of the work. We, as I mentioned, that one of the program we did every year, due diligently, is the professional development, and he is the main person in that one. So, in this note, Ashik Bhai, please say something about yourself.
Thank you,
I know you
Afroza.
don't like it.
I know, yeah, I would have stayed in the background very comfortably. But again, thank you for a very nice, kind introduction. Cannot take all the credits you gave me, but I'll go on. And, Faisal Bhai, thank you for, giving us this platform to
Absolutely.
share, some of our personal facts. And, I'm sure, this will make our connection stronger with the
Yes,
bigger Abia community.
absolutely.
So, assalamu alaikum, good morning, good afternoon. I'll go from way, way back. Both my parents are from Joshore, but I grew up in Dhaka, in the neighborhoods of like Sobhanbag, Dhanmondi, Rayar Bazar. Most of my schooling was in Shahin School, then passed HSC from Dhaka College in 1985. So I'm probably older than all of you. And then studied at mechanical engineering at BUET. I was a lecturer at BUET in the industrial engineering department for 10 months, and then came over to Oklahoma State University to study industrial engineering in 93. After finishing the master's, I went to Michigan to look for jobs. I was quite pessimistic about finding a job, but soon landed a drafter job at a small design engineering firm. And this job I got because I was like learning AutoCAD in Bangladesh just on my own, not with any degree or anything. So again, I started there, and they did some of my paperwork, and then I moved on to this manufacturing engineering job at an organization called Cadillac Products, and they mostly supply to General Motors, Ford, Chrysler, Nissan. You'll find out, most all the members like Afroza, Tanzima, Mahmoud Salam, everybody, working at these companies, Ford, Chrysler, General Motors. So from there, at that company, really, I started as a a manufacturing engineer, and then went into quality engineering and quality management, and kind of built my foundation as a automotive quality. Um, from that company, I moved on to Whirlpool as a supplier development engineer, and that was in 2007. And in 2011, I left Whirlpool, joined a small aluminum extrusion company for a few months, and then joined my current employer, Eaton Corporation, in 2011. Since then, I've been working as a supplier development engineer. And again, this company, my division, they cater to all the big three automotive and heavy duty truck market. So as a supply development engineer, I specialize in bearings, springs, fasteners, assembled components, and I'm exposed to all these world-class companies and get to review, this American innovation in action. And it has been really fun to see all these different processes and learn about them, how people, make all these things that we use every day. So now, I've been working with Aabea since its beginning in Michigan, really in a support position. Sadek and other senior brothers, they pulled me in. And again, others, like Afroza mentioned, I am most passionate about the career development and networking event. Again, that one gives me the opportunity to give back a little. Young engineers, fresh graduates appreciate, when we share our knowledge, experience in those events, and even after the event, we maintain contact. Not with all of them, but a lot of them, and then able to coach them to prepare for interviews. And some of them don't know the exact terminology we use here in US. So we are able to, kind of convert their resumes to what it would look more relevant here in US. So, and they appreciate it. And so again, I'm very grateful that Michigan Aabea team is very focused on this event. I have to mention Mahmoud Salam's name. Once he joined, he added another dimension to this career event. Very organized. I've been sharing a lot of his, stuff with, the participants in our events, like list of employers, list of headhunters. So again, it has been great. And with Afroza leadership, I'm here to give my best and see, that what we can do for the Bangladeshi engineering community. With that, maybe I should share a little bit about the family. I have an 18-year-old son, Zion, and 12-year-old daughter, Naira. And my wife, Nisho, she's also from Buet. We are fortunate to live in this vibrant Bangladeshi community in Michigan. With that, thank you. Hopefully it was not too boring. Thank you.
Very good. Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you, Ashik Bhai. And we are lucky to have you in our team. And I think I am lucky to finally manage to assemble this wonderful team. Everybody has an unique quality and unique ways contributing to our Michigan chapter. And with that, our next is the Vice President, Mahmoud Salam. He is a young blood, I should say, and he has full of idea. I don't know if I give rein to him, the Aabea, then every single week he will make something happen in there. So sometimes we need to rein him up, but I like to see that enthusiasm in the young peoples and come forward with their ideas and find a platform like Aabea to make it happen. So Mahmoud, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much, Afsuzapa and Ashik Bhai. Really appreciate it. Actually, I'll go a little bit background about myself. I came to USA in 2010 and started my master's in Tuskegee University, Alabama, and got my master's and started my PhD in University of Texas, Dallas. Then I decided to pursue job, not PhD, and quit my PhD and then moved to Michigan. Then I started my looking for job. So when I was looking for job, then basically Aabea, I get to meet, I think, Sadik Bhai, Ashik Bhai, if you remember. We met in one of our event in Michigan. So basically, the event is our professional developer event, and we're really proud of that event. And I'm one of the beneficiary out of that event, honestly. And when I was in Texas, Texas is the biggest state, as you know, but there is no Aabea. So what happened, being a mechanical engineer in Texas, it was very difficult for me to even find a job there. We have like computer science, electrical field is very good there, but for mechanical, it's not that area. And especially if you don't have Aabea or any organization which is connecting people, basically it's difficult to land a job. After moving here, I found that it's a very good network. It's a family-friendly environment, and after that, basically, alhamdulillah, I got a job in Ricardo, North America, as a project engineer. So I started working there, and then switched a couple of jobs, and now I'm working for Ford Motor Company, the CA analyst in electric and hybrid vehicle department for last 5+ years. As soon as I started my job in Ricardo, the first job in 2015, I promised myself as soon as I get my job, I'll definitely help others who are looking for a job. The reason behind it, when I actually moved to Michigan, and I didn't have any place to stay, so one friend was kind enough to allow me to stay with him, and he's also part of Aabea. He's also working for Ford Motor Company for like maybe 7-8 years. So what I found, the information is the key, because if I knew all the information I know now, so I could have landed my first job in Ford, to be honest, because it's not rocket science. It's everything is there. You have to know it, and you have to learn it if you need it. So then I started involving with all the events in Aabea from 2015, basically, and I was involved with different events like STEM event, professional development event, and also the summer camp and some family nights also. In last year, what I tried to do, as because of COVID, all the events because shut down, because we couldn't do STEM event, we couldn't do even our professional development day was to cancel because we are not sure what to do. Then basically everyone worked together and do it online. It was a very successful event, and a lot of people from different state attended that event. And later on, they personally contacted with me. Still, I'm in contact with a lot of people who are maybe working or pursuing their PhD or masters. So my vision about Aabea is, I think, is a huge potential, especially for those who are looking for a job, or even people like me who are working, but they need help for their future career opportunities. Because after I'm working for 5-6 years, then what will be my next career jump? So if the people like Faisal Bhai or Afroz Abu, Tanzim Abu, Ashik Bhai, they can definitely guide me out, like how can I go to the next step? That Aabea could be a very key role for that. And not only that, even if you someone want to start a company, then definitely Aabea, a lot of people has money, so they can invest on young people. So they can, and if anyone has a good idea, they can definitely invest on that people, and definitely the way startup work that we can go that route. And a lot of our Aabea members have, I think, their own company too in New York and other states too, even I think in Michigan too. So my vision is like make such a platform, especially our chapter, so that our older generation can share the knowledge to the younger generation. Like it could be like employee like me who are just started job 5-6 years, or job seeker, or even students like when you were very early stage student, or even who are really coming to USA now. Because I'm also part of a couple of Skype group who help people for their scholarship, come for like GRE, TOEFL, and those things. So I feel like Aabea could help there too. I think Aabea in 2016, when I was involved in that biennial convention, I know at that time, I think a couple of people from Bangladesh came to USA for for their one of the I don't remember exactly. I think Afroz Abu can talk more about
As
it.
a keynote speaker or something, or
No, some student came, right, for
student
presenting
came.
their
Okay.
paper or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
we
Okay.
had some competition at the time to writing the
Oh, wow.
essays.
Hmm.
Yes, and their publications. So the winner of the competitions, I think three, four of them came from Bangladesh, Australia at the time. Yes,
This is very good.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we
So
sponsored them to come and
yeah,
present their
they actually
papers.
came here and presented
Hmm.
their work.
Papers,
And
yeah.
another thing I was thinking recently, I'm not sure it's feasible or not, because I know we have a lot of companies like Rahima Froze, the company who make
Hmm.
the
Batteries.
batteries. So I have, and I think the CEO is from Buick. Like he's, I think I don't know. I think he's 85 batch or something. So we can Aabea can help those companies make international brand. Actually, they're already exporting internationally. Even I know that a lot of plastic manufacturer, they also supply for Toyota. I When I went to Bangladesh last year, I got to know that Toyota, some of the plastic part of Toyota come from Bangladeshi plastic companies. So I feel like if we are come together, we can definitely help this company make international brand. So that's my vision about Aabea. So hopefully I can contribute in future more. So just wish me luck on that. Thank you so much, everyone, for
No,
listening.
if I may interject for a second, I mean these are great ideas. I mean, as Afrozapa said, like you are full of creative ideas, and I am actually making a lot of notes. So like international branding from Bangladeshi-owned companies. I mean, this is something really really good. And by the way, as you said, within Aabea community, there's a lot of company owners, like the entrepreneurs,
Yes.
who have been running companies for the last 10 years, and there's a lot of lessons learned. So whoever is interested in learning like how to open a company, how to do business, and in the US community, and I mean we can definitely create a seminar or like some kind of a training module for that particular mode. Absolutely. I mean this is something. And by the way, there is one organization called BEST. It's known as Bangladeshi Entrepreneur Society of Talents. So what they do is I'm actually involved with that community. That's why I know. They bring in the new innovators, new entrepreneurs, young generation to kind of guide them how to open a company, how to succeed in the business and in the engineering world. So definitely we can do a program with Aabea and Best, and do some good work there.
Thank you, Faisal Bhai, and thank you, Mahmoud. Those are like very good information. And Mahmoud, I think you are very happy to find someone who can support your dream. And
Definitely, I just made the note.
yes, uh, and that's all we need, right? We need to connect with each other and find the platform to make it happen. So next one I like to introduce is Ovi Bishwas. He is the general secretary of Michigan chapter. And the way Michigan chapter works is we involved people, whoever is interested, from engineering and architecture background, to work with us to perform different. Everything is voluntary here. So different event, we invite them to give them their best. And whenever we see the potential, somebody is really passionate about doing voluntary work, we give them the opportunity to come as a board and show their leadership skills. And Ovi is one of them. I work with him during the biannual ceremony in Michigan, and I found that he has a very good work ethic, and he can work a lot. And as a general secretary, you have a lot of. I was one time the general secretary for Aabea Central, so I know how much work I need to do. So I want somebody very efficient for this work, and Ovi is just the person for that one. And with this ado, Ovi, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Afroza, for your kind words. And thank you, Faisal Bhai, for arranging this. As everyone else said, this is a really great opportunity to kind of interact with the other chapters, right? So I don't think otherwise would get this opportunity. So thanks a lot for that. So I would introduce myself first a little bit. I'm Ovi. Both of my parents are from Pabna, but I was born and brought up in Old Dhaka, Puran Dhaka. Spent most of my school days at St. Gregory's High School in Lokhi Bajar. Then went for college at Notre Dame. After that, I did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering from BWAC. Back in 2010, I came to USA for my master's at Oklahoma State University. Uh, and I graduated in 2013, back end of 2013. And I was looking for jobs, mostly in Oklahoma and Texas. And very similar experience what Mahmoud Bhai shared, right? So it was uh, very tough to kind of reach out and kind of get connected to the Bangladeshi engineering community over there, right? So I had a very, very hard time landing a job. I was without a proper job for almost about 8 months. So eventually I came to Michigan. I was hired by Sadek Rahman Bhai. Many of you know him, who used to be our chapter president also. I have been with Fiat Chrysler. Now we are called Stellantis since the merger with Peugeot. Since then, so I started as an aerothermal simulation engineer, and now I'm the technical specialist for electric vehicle thermal model integration. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I've been doing for nearly 8 years. Uh, so, but again, I mean, very similar to what Mahmoud Bhai shared, right? So, what I had to endure during those 8 jobless months, right? So, that was a tough time, and that inspired me to be associated with something like Aabea, where we can give back to the community in a very, very unique way, right? So, it's a very unique thing that we can do here. We are so far from our homeland. Most of the time, all we can do for our country is a little bit of charity here and there, right? There's not much we can do. But Aabea presents us with this opportunity to help, especially the young Bangladeshi graduates, right? To make sure that they are not like lost. It's probably the hardest time in the whole time in an alien country, right? When you're coming for your education, it's kind of straightforward. It goes through a smooth process. But when you're starting to look for a job, that's the toughest time. That you don't know where you want to go, what kind of job you want to do. A lot of times, what you want to do may not have any connection with what you studied for over like 20 plus years, right? So it's a very tough time. It's important to guide these young people. And again, another thing that Mahmoud Bhai mentioned, right? Even people like us who have been in the industry for some time, but are kind of stuck with their careers, right? We don't know where to go next. What should we do next? So Aabea has that potential because we have these veterans, right? Ashik Bhai, Tanzima Apu, Afroza Apu, and many other people who are very interested to help people. So we can get guidance from them and make sure that our career also is not kind of stuck in the middle. So that's what I'm really passionate about. This is the first time in the officially in the committee for me, but I have been very closely involved with all the Aabea Michigan activities for the last 7+ years, especially the networking and career development programs. I have worked very closely with Mahmoud Bhai, Ashek Bhai, Sadek Bhai, Abu Ashraf Bhai in these ones. And I think over the last few years, all of our arrangements have been very successful. But it can get better, right? So that's the target, to make it bigger, to make it more successful. In the beginning, I mean, people came over from all over the country, right? People drove from Florida, drove from Texas. People came from even from California to look for a job, right? So especially for mechanical engineers, the Michigan is kind of a hub, right? So a lot of people came from different places: civil engineers, electrical engineers, computer engineers. So that's a good opportunity for all of us to kind of make sure that we help out these people, at the same time grow as a community, right? We all know, and I kind of envy how closely knitted, like say, the Indian or Chinese communities are, right? How they help each other in finding jobs, or even like with businesses and what not. So I think we can do better as a community, and Aabea can definitely give us that platform to kind of work on that in the future. So I mean that's my personal goal for Aabea Michigan, to extend the career development program further, and I'm really excited to work with the rest of our committee members who are all very dedicated, and even you already have that idea. So yeah, that's all from me. Thank you for listening to me, and thanks again, Faisal Bhai, for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you, Nishchi.
Thank you, Obi. So I have to interject a little bit in here. In our professional development or career development program, we always bring a lawyer there. So what we go through, all of us as alien to this country, how we navigate our status from student visa to H1 visa to OPT to green card, we all have lots of questions, and the rule is not stay the same, it's change every time. So we always bring a lawyer to help understand the students, graduating students, what's next, what they have to do, what's in front of them, and how they can get help. So I think that's also very well received by the student community or young graduates. So next is our treasurer. I would like to say he's the best treasurer an organization can have, and he's the most important person also, right? Because he got all the money, and every time we have an event, he makes sure that we can have like what we call that membership drive. He is very good at it, and he try to get as many member as he can, and he always keep us on tour that hey, that's what you have to do. And with that, Pranav, please go ahead.
I think a little bit exaggerated, but thank you, Afrojapu. I would like to thank Faisal Bhai, first of all, for this platform, and I got to know so much about my team. And
Yep,
it's
absolutely.
tremendous. Thank you. So, first of all, I would like to start off by sharing a secret. And I believe many from my team even don't know about this. I'm actually a Buet dropped out architect. So I
Didn't
came to
know
the
that.
US I hope it's not a deal breaker. I came to the US in 2008 to support my family, and I restarted my undergrad in biomedical engineering. Completed my bachelor with double major in biomedical and mechanical engineering. And this is when I got to be familiar with Aabea. Aabea seemed to be a very good platform to me for networking and professional gatherings. I got to be elected as a treasurer for last election year, and I continued the journey this year as well. I'm working currently at Hirata Corporation of America as a mechanical design engineer. We work for all big three assembly lines for assembly and sub-assembly production lines. I like to be a part of Aabea because it teaches us how to be professional, act professional in a group of professional people. In case you didn't notice, I'm emphasizing on the word professional. So that's, I think, a very good positive point for Aabea, that it teaches you how to be a professional person around so many professional people. And I think every Bangladeshi engineer and architect who gets the opportunity to be a part of Aabea definitely should pursue it. And lastly, I would like to thank Aabea for today's event, for providing me the opportunity to speak among all other Bangladeshi engineer and architects. It's definitely a proud moment for me to be part of such amazing and helpful community. And I have achieved a lot, and I will definitely pay it forward. That is my Aabea motto. And I think my goal for Aabea is to make it financially stable. That would be one less thing to worry about. And please let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you. Thank you, Faisal Bhai, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
You
you,
do,
Pranav.
you
We
do
always call
justice.
him Shanam.
No, I'm saying he does justice to the architect's part of it, in Aabea, because
Yeah.
I don't think we have any
Oh yeah,
architect here,
yes,
do we?
exactly. We can take a half architect any day.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I try to get into the architecture department, Pranab, for your FYI. So in my test, I have to draw a picture, a old man, a poor old man having tea in a tea stall by the roadside. So I draw, and after that, I feel like I had to give a caption, otherwise people won't understand what I draw. So
Yeah.
that's the end of my architecture journey. Before that, I was the proud painter because I can draw beautiful banana, apples, all those kind of things,
You're
flower.
halfway there.
Yes, so I thought I can do good in architecture, but the test can give me the real life of architecture, and that's about it.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Uh, so now last one, Naima. She is the youngest member of our organization, of our committee, and she is the most efficient worker, I should say. She never miss a meeting. She is always on time, and she is a very enthusiastic Aabea member, I should say. So let's give Naima the floor.
Thank you, Afroja, for giving me the opportunity to introduce myself, and thank you, Faisal Bhaiya, for arranging this. I am Naima Hussain. I have been working as a software engineer in Cengage Learning for the past 4 years. Cengage is an American educational content, technology, and services company serving the higher education, K-12, professional, library, and workforce training markets worldwide. My team works in the Cengage's core system. We are continually developing systems that launch digitized content to students and faculties all over the world, and also intelligent enough to assess and grade the students' response in real time. As for me, I was born in Sylhet, and thanks to my dad's government job, I had to change school every year. But I have to admit this helped me meet with a lot of new people around whole Bangladesh. Later, I did my bachelor's in Department of Computer Science and Engineering from BUET and joined Jantric Technologies, a startup company, as a software developer. We made several tools there that are integrated with ArcMap, the most commonly used GIS software, so that water resource and environmental engineers can spend more time analyzing results efficiently. I must say the experience in a startup company teaches me a lot. Fast forward, I decided to come to Michigan. I joined Wayne State University for my master's degree in computer science. While doing my master's, I worked in Deluxe Corporation as an intern that helped me land my current job. This is the reason I always tell people it is really important to do internship while doing your graduation in USA. This exposes you to the different work environment that we don't get in Bangladesh. Whether it is changing schools every year, or my first job in a startup company, or my current job in the educational industry, all taught me that it is important to share your experience with people. Your experience is the story that might help someone else to overcome the fear. When I joined Aabea a couple of years ago, I realized members of Aabea are always sharing their fight, struggle with young professionals of Bangladesh and trying to help in their journey in every possible way. This encouraged me to join Aabea as an executive member. As I already said, I was born in Sylhet, and everyone here knows we have a big community here in Michigan from Sylhet. While staying here in Michigan for past 6 years, I have realized we don't encourage the second generation of Bangladeshi Americans enough to come and work with us. I feel the STEM project for younger generation can bridge the gap. As an executive member of Aabea, I want to involve myself more in this project so that the young generation can see and learn more from us and get interested in STEM, and we all can grow together as a community. So that's for from me. Thank you, everyone.
Very welcome.
Thank you, Naima. So, yeah, she point out a very good. I would say that the fault, or not the fault. How can I say that? It is lacking of Aabea currently we have in Michigan chapter. That is, we cannot engage young engineers enough, or the next generation engineers in the community. Like my son, he is an student in engineering college, right? So I like to join him as
Hmm.
a student. He helped me a lot. All the Aabea event, he helped me, but that active participation is not there. So that's, I think we need to do some more to entice the second generation engineer to come forward with their ideas and with their plan and with their enthusiasm in Aabea.
Absolutely. And one thing, Afrozapa, is that from the central and also with your help, we're introducing this student membership at Abia, so that we can not only like have them as a volunteer behind the scene, they need to be come forward, and like they could hold like some responsibilities as an associate member, as a student
Yes,
member from
we
Abia.
had the same thing. We
So
even like the
uh,
student membership is free for Abia Michigan
mhm,
chapter, and
mhm,
also all this big event we have, we always try to sponsor their part of that, so they don't have to pay and come and enjoy the event. But as we say, we miss the leadership part of their through
mhm,
our organization,
right.
and definitely we will work together to improve that one.
Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so no, this is excellent, and we're getting some great comments from the audience, who are watching from YouTube and Facebook. So they're very happy to see you all. And actually, as I said before, this is going to be posted and recorded on Facebook and YouTube. So some of you who are not, joining here because of other conflicting schedule, they can always watch anytime they wish. Um, so one other thing is in Michigan chapter is that with your cohesive team members, what I'm seeing is all these different activities that are in flight. We really need to promote that in a bigger way to us as a central and the other chapters, so that we can follow your footsteps. So I think another thing from the central committee, what we like to do is to have some kind of like a combined program as an ongoing basis, so that we can share each other's ideas, and then we can make it a bigger and better event, not only for Michigan but also for the entire North America, as well as in Bangladesh. So we can bring in students, we can bring in professionals from Bangladesh joining us. One of the greatest platform because of the pandemic, the one positive thing that I can think of is that we can bring in the entire world in this
Yep.
platform. This is treasure. We don't have to go anywhere, and it's such a great platform that we can. The world has become so small, and we can leverage those kind of cohesive nature of engineers from all over the world. Um, so with that, I have another comment. Let's see. Okay, so this is another young crowd is saying that he is learning a lot from this forum. So thank you for joining. Um, so our last segment. Let's see. We have a few more minutes. Is there anything else you wanted to talk before we go into the next like a fun little event? Anyone?
Um,
Afrozapa?
just like to thank you again, Faisal Bhai. It's
Sure.
really been a great experience. We were little nervous before we start the program, how we gonna talk and present ourselves, but
You did an
it's fun.
excellent job.
It's fun. We enjoy
It's
it.
fun, and you have done a tremendous job. This is
Mm.
fantastic, actually. And the whole world would get to know you after the fact event. So usually, what happens is during live, the attendance is little light, but if you look at it after the fact, there are about in our last Abia DC chapter, we had about 2,000 attendees afterwards who
Mm.
watched the show. So I'm hoping it's going to go even a higher number for this one as well.
Yeah. I just want to say, if anybody has any questions and
Yeah,
they have any suggestion that we can improve or we can take the project, we can help anybody. Please give us, knock us. We have a Facebook page, we have email, we have our website, so you can reach any way you want, and we
absolutely.
will try our best.
Excellent, excellent. Yes. And this is not the end, as I said. We're going to have similar sessions with you all again as we go through our process. So with that, our last but not least, the fun event. We have a myth that we engineers, we only build things. We love to do technology, but a lot of you don't know that we have our other side, that we're culturally very rich as well. So let us show off some of this cultural talent from some of you. So we'll have the privilege to hear some musical talent from both Obhi Bishash Bhai and Pranab Bhai. So with that, please, maybe Obhida, you can start first.
ধন্যবাদ ফয়সাল ভাই। এখন একটু বাংলায় কথা বলি।
অনেক ইংরেজিতে কথা বলা হয়েছে।
আসলে আমাদের নেক্সট জেনারেশনের জন্য আমরা ইংলিশ বলছিলাম, বাট এটা ইংলিশ বাংলা দুটোই, দ্যাটস ফাইন, কোনো সমস্যা নেই। জি, অবশ্যই।
খালি গলায় গাচ্ছি। হ্যাঁ, ও আমার উড়াল পঙ্খী রে, যা যা তুই উড়াল দিয়া যা, ও আমার উড়াল পঙ্খী রে, যা যা তুই উড়াল দিয়া যা। আমি থাকবো মাটির ঘরে, আমার চোখে বৃষ্টি পড়ে। আমি থাকবো মাটির ঘরে, আমার চোখে বৃষ্টি ঝরে। তোর রইবে মেঘের উপরে বাসা, ও আমার উড়াল পঙ্খী রে, যা যা তুই উড়াল দিয়া যা, ও আমার উড়াল পঙ্খী রে, যা যা তুই উড়াল দিয়া যা। আমার মনে বেজায় কষ্ট, আমার মনে বেজায় কষ্ট, সেই কষ্ট হইল কষ্ট। আমার মনে বেজায় কষ্ট, সেই কষ্ট হইল কষ্ট। দুই চোখে ভর করিল আধার নিরাশা, তোর হইবে মেঘের উপরে বাসা, ও আমার উড়াল পঙ্খী রে, যা যা তুই উড়াল দিয়া যা, ও আমার উড়াল পঙ্খী রে, যা যা তুই উড়াল দিয়া যা। মেঘবতী মেঘ কুমারী মেঘের উপরে থাকো, সুখ দুঃখ দুই বইনেরে কোলের উপরে রাখো। মেঘবতী মেঘ কুমারী মেঘের উপরে থাকো, সুখ দুঃখ দুই বইনেরে কোলের উপরে রাখো। মাঝে মধ্যে কান্না করা, মাঝে মধ্যে হাসা, মেঘবতী আজনি আছে মেঘের উপরে বাসা, ও আমার উড়াল পঙ্খী রে, যা যা তুই উড়াল দিয়া যা। আমি থাকবো মাটির ঘরে, আমার চোখে বৃষ্টি পড়ে। আমি থাকবো মাটির ঘরে, আমার চোখে বৃষ্টি পড়ে। তোর হইবে মেঘের উপরে বাসা, ও আমার উড়াল পঙ্খী রে, যা যা তুই উড়াল দিয়া যা, ও আমার উড়াল পঙ্খী রে, যা যা তুই উড়াল দিয়া যা, যা যা তুই উড়াল দিয়া যা, যা যা তুই উড়াল দিয়া যা।
Oh my God,
মাশাআল্লাহ,
this is so good.
awesome.
My God,
এটা তো
অভিনব,
জানতাম না অভি।
অসাধারণ একদম। হ্যাঁ, এত
ধন্যবাদ ধন্যবাদ
সুন্দর,
সবাইকে।
my
খালি গলায় মাশাআল্লাহ।
ভালোই দেখালা।
গলার কাজ আর গলার সুর। আপনি নিশ্চয়ই গান শিখতেন আগে, আমি বুঝতে পারছি।
হ্যাঁ, ৬-৭ বছর গান শিখছি স্কুলে থাকতে।
বাংলাদেশে কোথায় ছিলেন?
বাংলাদেশে। বাংলাদেশে আমি থাকতাম হচ্ছে পুরান ঢাকায় স্বামীবাগ।
আচ্ছা,
ওখানে আর কি ওই যে রওশন জামিলার নাম হয়তো আপনারা সবাই জানেন।
অবশ্যই অবশ্যই, হ্যাঁ।
রওশন জামিলার একটা আর কি প্রতিষ্ঠান ছিল, ওখানে শিখছি 6-7 বছর।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
শুধু গান না, নাচও শিখছো?
না, নাচ শিখি নাই।
এই গানটা আগে শুনিনি, এটা কার গান? এটা
এটা হচ্ছে সুবীর নন্দীর গান, বাংলা সিনেমার জন্য।
খুব সুন্দর।
আচ্ছা, সুন্দর।
আশিক ভাই একদমই সিনেমা দেখেন না।
এই গানটা খুবই সুন্দর গাইছে। আই এম লাইক ওয়াও।
No, this is amazing. খুব ভালো লাগলো. So now I know who I need to invite for our central biennial convention next year in DC. You'll have the floor, you'll have the stage for performance, Obida.
ধন্যবাদ।
ওকে শেয়ার করতে হলে টাকা লাগবে ফাইসাল ভাই।
আচ্ছা, টাকা দিব, অসুবিধা নেই। আমরা ফান্ড রেজ করব।
আমি সেখানে একটু ফান্ড দরকার। টাকা।
হ্যাঁ, সেটাই। ওকে, তো এবার আমরা আমাদের পরবর্তী ট্যালেন্টেড মানুষের কাছে যাই। প্রণব দা, আপনি যদি শুরু করেন খুব ভালো হবে।
Obi set the bar so high up. মানে I'm going to disappoint everyone right now.
না।
So আমি যে গানটা গাবো এটা হচ্ছে ক্যালসিয়াম, অঞ্জন দত্তের। আর গানটা গাচ্ছি কারণ I can relate to this song.
Sure. But with guitar.
Nice, ukulele. I'm a novice, so still learning. ডাক্তার বলছে ক্যালসিয়ামটা কম, টিউটার বলছে অঙ্কটা কমজোরি, ছোটকা বলছে দুধ চাই নেই তোর দম, আম্মা বলছে আচার গেছে চুরি, পিসি বলছে বকে গেছে হিন্দি ছবি দেখে, দিদি বলছে ভীষণ আনস্মার্ট, দাদু বলছে সময়টাই গোলমেলে করবে কি, জ্যাঠা বলছে পে দিয়ে উল্কা, ছাদের পাঁচিল বলছে আয়ে ছুটে আয়ে খালি পায়ে, আকাশ বলছে গলা খুলে গা, দুপুর বলছে কান্না পেলে ছাদে উঠে গিয়ে সবাই যা বলছে ভুলে যা, জিগিরে ব্যাম জিগিরে ব্যাম জিগিরে বাম বাম বা, জিগিরে ব্যাম জিগিরে ব্যাম জিগিরে বাম বাম বা। সুমন বলছে পারো যদি অন্য ছবি এঁকো, টিনটিন বলছে চলো অ্যান্টার্কটিকা, টিভি বলছে বলো আই এম এ কমপ্লেন বয়, অঞ্জন বলছে টিভি দেখো না, সেটাই বা কেন লেখা বন্ধ করে দিল, কিছুই বলছে না, দাদু বলছে সময়টাই গোলমেলে করবে কি, জ্যাঠা বলছে প্যাদালে সোজা, ছাদের পাঁচিল বলছে আয় ছুটে আয় খালি পায়ে, আকাশ বলছে গলা খুলে গা, দুপুর বলছে কান্না পেলে ছাদে উঠে গিয়ে সবাই যা বলছে ভুলে যা, জিগিরে ব্যাম জিগিরে ব্যাম জিগিরে বাম বাম বা, জিগিরে ব্যাম জিগিরে ব্যাম জিগিরে বাম বাম বা।
Very nice.
Another huge talent.
Awesome.
Very nostalgic হয়ে গেলাম তোমার গান শুনে।
This is amazing. What a
ভাই শুনতে পেলাম আপনিও নাকি ভালো গান গান।
না, আমি একটু গান করি, ওটা আবার পরে। আজকে হচ্ছে আপনাদের ফ্লোর, আমি একটু রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীত করি, বাট নিশ্চয়ই শোনাবো আপনাদেরকে আরেকদিন। তো আজকে আপনাদের দিন, আপনারা আর কেউ কিছু গাইবে, অথবা অভিদা, প্রণবদা, আপনারা যদি আরো একটা করতে চান, ইটস আপ টু ইউ টোটালি।
I think we are good.
ফয়সাল ভাই আমরা খুব ভালো দর্শক, আপনি গান একটা শোনায় দেন, আমরা একটু শুনে ফেলি।
না, আমি আজকে আসলে আমি তো গান গাওয়ার কথা ছিল না, এই জন্য মানে আপনাদের প্রোগ্রামে আমি আর নষ্ট করতে চাচ্ছি না প্রোগ্রামটা, এত সুন্দর রেশটা। আরেকদিন শোনাবো, হ্যাঁ, নিশ্চয়ই। তো তো ঠিক আছে, তো আজকে এখানেই শেষ করি। So before we end, again, I'd like to thank each and every one of you. This is a great team, seriously. I mean, we enjoyed, as audience, we enjoyed every minute of it. And আপনারা যে এত সুন্দরভাবে আপনাদের টিমটাকে সুন্দর করে গুছিয়েছেন, এবং এটা নিয়ে যে আপনারা you'll be working together for the next 2 years and more years that are upcoming. And I have no doubt that it'll be a great chapter and everything else. So again, thank you so much সবাইকে। আবারও অনেক অনেক শুভেচ্ছা জানিয়ে আপনাদেরকে দাওয়াত রইল for the next episode. I think we'll come back with probably New York or Southern California or Silicon Valley. You know, we'll let you know which chapter comes forward next. But again, this is just the beginning, and thank you all. সবাই ভালো থাকবেন, সুস্থ থাকবেন, এবং stay safe. And until next time, have a great weekend. And
অনেক
Thank
ধন্যবাদ
you.
ফয়সাল ভাই।
Thank you.
অনেক ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে।
thank you. Ji.
থ্যাংক ইউ।
Stay safe.
Stay safe.